guys, and welcome back to another video. As you guys read by today's title, today's video is a little different than my past videos, but I've been wanting to make this video for so freaking long now, and I've honestly just been lagging it. So you know what, I was like, nope, we gotta do this because I know that there's a lot of you out there that are currently in the process of trying to get your personal training certificate, or maybe are thinking about it. And I know that YouTube videos really helped me out when I was, getting ready for it. So I have lots of notes down here that I want to go over, and then all the stuff I used to study on here to help you guys. But yeah, let's just get into the video. I don't want to make this long, but I do want to make it as informative as possible so that you guys don't have to go and like watch a bunch. And yeah, hopefully you guys leave this video with a little bit more tips and tricks into what you should study, maybe what you should focus on, and maybe make you feel a little more confident, because you guys definitely got this, and if I can do it, you can too. Alright guys, so I got my laptop here full of notes, so I'm going to be reading kind of off of this, but yeah, don't mind me. First things first though, I do want to say I did get the NASM self-study course, so I think that's like the cheapest alternative, so you don't get all the other little, I think it's like online coach, and I don't know if it's an online coach, honestly I don't know, but it's the cheapest one you can get because you kind of have to study on your own and do it on your own, but it's definitely doable. I passed it on my first try, so don't feel the need to like buy the most expensive. I think you guys are fine with just the self-study. But that leads me kind of into my first little tip, okay guys, because I effed up. So when you purchase a course, you're able to schedule your test right then and there. And like, it could be in 4 months, 5 months, whatever. It has to be within the 6 though. And that is something that I didn't do. And I find that I feel like it would have helped a lot if I had, because you have that mental deadline, and maybe it pushes you into, getting your shit together and start studying, because I didn't start studying until like 3 months in. I lagged it the first 3 months, and then I was like, you know what? Oh shit, like I need to get my act together here. So I started studying very last minute, and then I was stressing. So I feel like the first thing you should do, and that I wish I did, is go right when you purchase your course and set your test date. It lets you choose the time, it lets you choose the day, but even if you go back later and cancel and maybe reschedule it, at least that gives you kind of that push to get started and get the ball rolling. The book is divided into, it's a pretty big book. If you do the self-study, you only get it on a digital version, so you don't get the physical book, but I think you can buy if you prefer a physical book, you can get it, I believe, on Amazon for like $100, maybe less if you rent it. But it is lengthy, so it is about 23 chapters, and regardless of like whether you start studying right away or not, I feel like it is a lot to take in the beginning. They actually give you the breakdown of what will be on the test, or like the percentage of how much will be on the test based off of each chapters. So definitely look at that. I don't remember the breakdown exactly, but I'll put it on the screen if I can find it. And I wish I had seen that, honestly, first, because it'll kind of give you a basic idea of what to prioritize a little more, especially if you're like kind of last minute studying like I was. That's very helpful to know. But on top of that, I do want to say that take the practice quizzes. The practice quizzes are at the end of each chapter, and then there's also a practice exam. So I took all of those, and I would say, well, what worked for me to kind of get it in here was that I would write down everything I would get wrong, any questions I would get wrong, I would write them down, and then keep going, and then come back to it at another day and try to see if I could remember those. But if I were to say, out of everything they hand you, the biggest thing that I would suggest you print out and you freaking read from start to finish multiple times a day is the study guide. The study guide you guys can find on your portal, but basically, oh my gosh guys, this is gonna be everything. So it is a handful. I printed it all out. It looks like this. It's pretty thick. I don't even know if this is all of it, but section 1 is chapters 1 through, I believe, 2, and then section 2 is chapters 3 to 4. Then there's a big section 3 of chapters 5 through 12. Yeah, 5 through, this is a big chunk of the test right here. But this has literally everything you need to know. Everything, and it's already bullet pointed. So what I went and did was just kind of highlight, and then I added little notes here and there, just to kind of like stuff that wasn't exactly detailed, because this is just like the basics. But if you want to go in detail, I would write little notes on the sides there. I even went and did shit on the back. But for the most part, if you just, I've heard people just go through this and they don't read the book and they pass it, but I would suggest not doing that. You want to kind of use this as like a guide as you're skimming your book as well, and then jot down any more extra notes that you think would help you memorize it better, or that they might have left out that you think are important, because that's literally what I did. And the last few weeks, all I did was carry the study guide with me everywhere I would go in the car. I'm pretty sure I annoyed like my friends and my boyfriend because they were just always with me and I had these in hand. Like, girl, I was reading through them every day. Another thing that's on the top of what you should print out that they already give you is the static and dynamic postural assessment sheet, graph, whatever you want to call it, chart. So this has overhead squat assessment, overactive, underactive muscles. I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard how important it is that you know this literally ins and out of it. But I found, actually I was trying to find who initially like made it, who the OG was, but I couldn't find her. So I'm gonna link down below the girl I watched on YouTube that helped me out. She had a mnemonic to memorize the overhead squat assessment, and that freaking mnemonic saved me because I had to tweak it a little bit. And if you guys want, I can actually put my tweak into it down below as well. Just let me know, or I might just do it. But if I forget, comment down below and I'll upload that. But I'll link her video as well, just so you guys can watch hers, because she was really helpful. Love her. But yes, you want to print this out and also know it, memorize it, and basically, yeah. Okay, besides those two, so you have your study guide and you have your assessment table paper. I'm also gonna suggest you print out this cheat sheet, which I printed out from, I believe his name was, it comes from PT Pioneer. Yeah. So he made, or Trainer Academy, just kidding. So Trainer Academy has a cheat, an NASM CPT cheat sheet, and it has everything just like squeezed into one single paper. Pretty much the basics that you need to know. But again, it's not going to go into detail, so you might want to take notes on these sides. Watch. Oh my gosh, I just made a mess, guys. But this is what it looks like, and I again highlighted and just kind of jotted down notes all on the back, because if y'all see, this just has like the basics, but it doesn't go into detail. So these are concepts you should know, but then you need to understand as well. So that's why I wrote on the back. Okay, so besides those 3 things that I told you guys you need to print out, which is the study guide, the cheat sheet, and then the assessment table, I would suggest you guys also use Quizlet just for like terms and stuff, because that's what I use, and then also YouTube. So I'm actually going to link 2 videos down below, or 3, that helped me out a lot. There's a 2-parter that Sorta Healthy Trainer posted, and they're like an hour long each, but he basically goes through the entire study guide in a way, but a more detailed way. And for me, I loved how he kind of presented the material, because it was way better for me to understand, or easier for me to understand. And then there was another one, I think it's, let me see if I have it here, but I think his name is, well, it's Show Up Fitness on YouTube. He also went through kind of the main topics and sections in detail, and that helped me out so much. I wrote down almost everything they would say, just honestly so that it sticks in here, because I find it personally, if I write it down, then I memorize it better. Okay guys, I hope my camera's in focus because it's being stupid, but Now I want to get into kind of what material slash, I don't know, questions that came up on my exam and that I think you guys should know, because it's most likely going to be on yours as well. So this is your time to get a little paper out, because I'm going to go through these real quick. I just kind of bullet pointed them, and hopefully I don't leave anything out. If I think of anything while I'm editing this that I left out that's really important, I'll put it down below as well. But yes, so let's get into it. So first things first, yes, you've heard it already 1,000 times, I'm pretty sure, but it is your underactive and overactive muscles. You have to know those. And basically, you know, you could get questions like, oh, if a client is doing the overhead squat assessment and their knees are caving in, which muscles are underactive? And then that would be like an example question, right? So you need to know that. Another thing is planes of motion. Know obviously frontal, sagittal, and transverse. Know that there's flexion and extension in sagittal. There's abduction and adduction in frontal. And then like your transverse is all the rotational movements. So yeah, just know that, understand that, know your exercises in each plane. And then I have the OPT models. So you need to know that they're big on this. So this is NASM's model. So know the phases and stages, tempo, reps, sets, which phases have supersets. I'm trying to think. I had questions where they would ask something like, if a client comes to you and they're looking to lose weight, which phases would you kind of phase them in and out of? So wink, wink. Your slow and fast twitch muscle fibers. You need to know methods of progression and regression. That actually came up a lot on my exam, and I honestly didn't expect it to. So for example, if someone can't do a push-up, what could you have them do instead? What ways would you regress them? I had a couple here and there, so know that. Lower and upper cross syndrome. Know that. Know SMART goals. And then VT1 versus VT2, I would suggest you kind of have an understanding of that. Front and backside mechanics. So for example, in sprinting, your front leg is in triple flexion. Plyometric training, know the phases. So concentric, and then you have amortization, and then concentric, I'm stupid. Your power. So eccentric, amortization, and then concentric. Foam rolling. Yeah, NASM is big on foam rolling. So have a pretty good understanding of how and when to foam roll someone, as well as where. Know, for example, which clients you shouldn't foam roll. Basic terms like synergist dominus, reciprocal inhibition, altered reciprocal inhibition, you should know. VO2 max. Have a decent understanding of your heart anatomy, so the blood flow of the heart. Just know like right atrium receives deoxygenated blood, and then your left one receives oxygenated blood, stuff like that. And then know your first, second, and third class levers. Stages of change. I got so many questions on this for some reason on my exam. So basically just know, for example, if a person is looking to join the gym in the next month, what phase or stage are they in? That was something that kept showing up a lot on mine. Know BMI, blood pressure ranges, your 3 energy systems. Also have a basic understanding of like the fitness assessments. Just kind of know the more common ones. Jackson and Palek 7 and 3 site protocol. I would say just know that in case they ask. I didn't get any really, but I heard some people did. Then the formula for the heart rate reserve. Know it, memorize it. Tanaka one, I think that's what it's called. I didn't get a question on, but I would say just memorize that one as well. And then you need to know basics of nutrition. So just know your fats, carbs, proteins, and then know the percentage recommended intake for those macros. Know exercise equipment, okay? Because I think I got lucky, because the day of my exam I went back and just quickly skimmed through those because I had forgotten what they were used for. There's some stuff, honestly, guys, I've never used in the gym before that NASM has on their book. One of them being like the Viper, the VIPR. Viper, I think is how you say it. But I never really use that. So luckily I did go back and kind of refresh my mind, and it came in clutch because there was a question or so, a question or two, asking about equipment. Just know and be familiar with them. Know modalities for clients with certain restrictions. That's a big one. I got a lot of that. And that's honestly that I wrote down all I could think of really that I suggest you for sure feel confident answering. I did take the proctored at home one, so I was kicking everyone out of the house and on my laptop. Very, very stressful and nerve-wracking at the beginning, but it wasn't bad. You just make sure you have your CPR ready for them to see, and then your ID. You sit down, they're watching you the entire time, so you can't have anything with you. There's 120 questions in the exam, but 20 of them don't count. They're like being tested. The only bad thing is you don't know which out of the 120 those are, so you still have to try for all of them. I wrote down here that my biggest tip is to go through the entire exam first. Guys, like, it's long, but I honestly didn't think I was going to take the entire time, and I did. So nerves were kicking in. What I did was I went through the whole exam, and you can actually bookmark any questions that you aren't sure about. I suggest you don't even answer them. If you're not sure, just kind of bookmark it and skip it, because a lot of the times future questions end up answering some of the questions you skipped. And yeah, just keep going, read through them slow, and then once you finish, don't just go back to your bookmarked questions, because let me tell you, I didn't do that. I went back to question 1 and I just skimmed through the whole thing again and reread them now that the nerves had like calmed down a bit, and I found like 6 questions I had confidently answered, and they were 100% sure wrong. I went back and I changed like 6 or 7, and I was like, what the heck? I really was just gonna leave it like that. So don't just go back to your bookmarked questions. Go back and reread everything else. Obviously, if you don't have time and you took a majority of the time, you know, going through it the first time, then yeah, maybe just go back to the bookmarked ones. But if you have the time, go back and reread them all, because I caught myself being wrong. You do get told whether you failed or passed like right away. So when I saw that pass, I literally cried. Like, guys, I have a snap. I don't know if I'll find it, but I'll put it right here if I find it. But I just feel like all the hard work, freaking those stressful last 3 months paid off, and it was like, a little emotional. But yeah, I would say honestly, that's pretty much all. So I hope you guys found this somewhat helpful, and if you guys have any other questions that I totally might have missed, drop them down below. I'll answer everything. And like I said, if I find that I forgot to mention anything that's really important, I'll put it down there as well, so read the description. But if you guys are taking the test, good luck. You guys got this, and can't wait to see y'all be certified. It's so exciting. I don't know. If you guys want to follow my fitness account though, I will put it right here. Follow me, because I want to be posting more consistently on there this year. It's a goal of mine. So let's be fitness friends. I need more. Okay, love y'all.